Renovating a home can help increase the value of a property, but here's why doing too much can actually do the opposite. Whenever somebody sells a home that's renovated, chances are it's priced as a turnkey home, meaning that the buyer who buys it doesn't need to do renovations in the home. So whenever a seller sells a home that's turnkey and renovated, sometimes when the renovations are too custom or too personalized to their specific tastes, now it's giving the buyers a hard time to be able to picture themselves in that home because of the finishes or the type of reno that seller did. And that can only mean that it may take a little bit longer to find the right buyer because you're not attractive to the general public. So if this does happen and now the buyer has to do work in that property, you can only imagine how much money that they would have to spend now, not only to put the finishes that they want into that property, but to take out what's already there. So that's a lot of money to be asking a buyer to spend if they're already spending what it takes to buy a turnkey home or a renovated home. And now it's just making it difficult to be able to attract the amount of buyers that you're hoping to attract. And again, it's really depending on the type of property that you're selling. This is just for the average type of property, not like a luxury property where the buyers are very wealthy people who don't mind spending that much money. This is just your typical freehold or condo property that is selling here in the GTA, that it makes it difficult to be able to find the right buyer if you're asking them to spend now more money on top to now do the renovations that they want. Now, a lot of people who do renovate their homes don't have any plans to be able to sell anytime soon, and that's totally fine. When you're renovating a home, you should do it how you like it and the type of finishes that you like. But if you do think that maybe within a few years, you might possibly be looking at selling, it may be best to just go with finishes that you know are easy to sell to general public of buyers who are interested in that type of home. And that can be white and gray finishes in a kitchen. That can be just general paint color, light gray. That can be a common color that you find in a lot of homes or a lot of staged properties. Don't think about it too much. Don't go with colors that aren't common. Don't go with too many accent walls. Like, these are things that you should probably limit if you do have intentions on wanting to sell within the next 5 years or so. That should be something that when you're doing a renovation should be top of mind, because if you are planning on getting top dollar, this should be a priority for you to get the best return for your home. And if they do need to spend money to get the property to look how they like, at least you didn't go crazy with the type of finishes being too expensive or a certain look where now it makes it that they have to change more than what they would have to. This just makes it easier for the buyer to make sense of the price, and it allows you to not spend so much money on stuff that you don't need to spend to just get it at a certain level that it needs to be at, again, if you're gonna be selling within the next few years or so. The areas of a home that you should focus on for the main renovations, if you do have plans on selling, of course, would be the kitchen and the washrooms. Now, I say if you plan on selling, because if you're just planning on living in the property for 20 more years, you know, styles may change. You may eventually find that it doesn't matter what you choose at that time. It's going to eventually be changed, or the next buyer is going to be changing it anyways. But if you're planning on selling within the next 5 years, try and focus on the areas of the kitchen and the washrooms, because that is what people go and value the most when they buy a property. And that also costs the most amount of money during renovations for the fixtures, the tiling, you know, just the overall necessities that are needed in these areas of the home. But that may not include flooring. If you have the old style flooring, usually what happens is when people are taking out the flooring, a lot of the times they figure, well, since we're taking out the flooring, we may as well, you know, do new kitchen cabinets or do new tiles in the washroom, and then that just starts a snowball effect. So I would say the kitchen and the washroom are the priorities, but really consider flooring as well. If your flooring is still outdated and it's not what's common to be found in homes that are in your area, I would say consider doing the flooring ahead of the rooms. But obviously the secondary would be the washrooms and the kitchen. So hopefully this helps you guys narrow down what type of finishes and the kind of renovations that you should do in your home. Again, don't overthink it, don't do too much, and just do enough where it gets the job done, it makes you happy as the seller, but it also is not going to be a hard sell for when you hand off the property to the next buyer. Until next time, thank you guys for watching.